Leah Jansen, ever so dominant on the left. Oh, Vivienne David spun around to try and find that ball off the baseline, but we already saw the cross-court battle and them challenging middle.
1-0-2.
Yeah, David was in a good position, just kind of over-rotated a bit on that two-handed counter.
Point.
Lucy Kovalova and Leah Jansen have had a solid day. Their quarterfinal matchup was against Mary and Maggie Brasha, won in just 2 games.
Point.
Yeah, and just because Lucy Kovalova plays that right side does not mean she's always the setup player. She's definitely a very aggressive player in her own right, can do a lot of things well on that side.
Point.
Speaking of aggression, there's some from the baseline, the third shot drive.
Yeah, really testing the backhand volley early here of Lacy Schneemann.
Point.
Utilizing the lob yet again. Lucy Kovalova typically playing alongside Callie Smith.
5-0-2. Point.
Great job by Leah Jansen on the left side. That backhand, you got to watch out for.
Yeah, she's got great dexterity to drop the head of the paddle. But
6-0-2.
Lucy Kovalova with the serve.
Side out.
So where do they maybe change their attack location or just their dink location?
Well, I think, you know, at the start of this match, Schneemann and David just need to clean it up a little bit, try to get more depth on their first volley to make Jansen and Kovalova work a little bit more.
Okay.
Right now, they're using the drive-drop combo as a way to negate that positional advantage with pretty good consistency.
Side out. Six, 0-1.
Lucy showing up again, a big-time defense.
She's really feeling the lob early on here.
7-0-1.
2 for 2. She can't seem to do any wrong so far in this match.
Point.
I also greatly appreciate all the matching outfits. Seriously, that's pretty awesome.
They're keeping it classy, keep it sharp.
8-0-1.
Well, and for the viewers at home, it just shows, you know, we talk so much about the shake and bake. There's different ways to use the drive. Right now, Jansen and Kovalova are using much more of a careful, methodical drive approach, where they're driving, waiting for that volley to be short, and giving themselves an easier drop on that 5th shot most of the time.
Side out.
As opposed to driving and crashing.
Yeah, when you drive and crash, you're using the drive as a way to maybe win the point. They're using it as the drive as a setup to get to the kitchen in an easier way.
Point.
Error off the return means a point for Schneemann and David.
1-8-1. Point.
Make it a second. Start to build.
And you saw Schneemann take the different approach. She drove and she crashed immediately in, putting even more pressure on that volley, helping her win the point.
One more, and Lacy with a fist pump. Lacy Schneemann, just 26 years old, stands at 5'4". She's Started playing pickleball back in 2021. Originally picked up the game in 2015, playing once or twice with her dad.
Yeah, excellent court awareness there by Schneemann, realizing she was pushed out far enough for the ATP.
Yes. 4-8-2.
And she has plenty of hops as she jumps for the overhead.
Yeah, wasn't a bad lob.
Lacy Schneemann and Vivienne David mounting a comeback here in the first. Schneemann has made a final this year. It came alongside Jade Kawamoto back at the Red Clay Hot Sauce Florida Open. They took silver to Annalie Waters and Catherine Parento. She also most recently earned bronze at the Seltzer, Texas Open with Anna Bright. ATP for Kovalova.
Yeah, using those long strides to cut down the angle, well measured.
Nine, 5-1.
And again, fending off the lob deep in the middle.
Yeah, again, Schneemann showing the athleticism and the foot speed to cover a lot of ground in a very short amount of time.
Point.
And you see a lot of the ladies in the pro game utilize a two-handed backhand for their counters. Schneemann doesn't do that as often, and right now Jansen and Kovalova are taking advantage of that with driving at her backhand just simply to give themselves an easier path to the net.
Back-to-back pokes for Lucy Kovalova. Grab that wanna get away fee and come on out to Colorado for Championship Sunday tomorrow.
Side out.
One of these two teams will face off against Annalie Waters and Anna Bright.
0-0-1.
Sharp angle for Schneemann.
Really tough to hit a winner off of that overhead when you're pushed back like she was. She's really getting those dialed in now.
It's interesting. They try and lob her because she's only 5'4", but she has a really nasty overhead.
She really does. She gets some great pronation at the top of her swing there, snapping her wrist down, giving her both angle and a little extra power.
I remember there was a Instagram post from Lacy too, and it was a series of photos of her hitting an overhead. Went from like an opposite C to like a true C.
Yeah, no, you can see the raw athletic talent that she really possesses when she's airborne like that.
Lucy Kovalova, 22 gold medals in gender doubles in her career. Most of the golds for Leah Jansen have come at the hand of singles. I believe she has 26.
1-0-1.
26 total medals, excuse me. 6. She has 2 golds in singles and 2 golds in gender doubles. Jansen out of the Pacific Northwest, Spokane, Washington. Now lives in Austin, Texas.
Second serve.
You gotta pull out your best matrix moves in this game.
Absolutely, and Kovalova right on point with hers there.
2-0-2.
We mentioned that Schneemann doesn't have the reach that Jansen has in that pattern, so I don't mind the attack, but it's very easy for her to get a little overextended.
Point.
Question is, do you go with the red pill or the blue pill?
Nice, nice. Love how you snuck that in there.
What do you choose?
I forget which is which, to be honest with you. And I've seen the Matrix about 100 times.
Point, timeout, receivers,
and a quick timeout
4-0-2.
called by in the other direction. She immediately calls it at the early stages of this game so it doesn't get away. Even though Schneemann and David come up with one more, 5-0.
Yeah, they're playing up-tempo right now themselves, and it's really disrupting kind of the rhythm that Kovalova and Jansen had in game one. So credit to them for making that adjustment.
Point.
Leah just a bit frustrated with herself, felt like she should have been able to be on that counter.
Side out.
The speed up straight into the head of Vivienne David. This is tough.
Yeah, higher than Leah was aiming, just got a little bit away from her there.
Ball out of bounds as the second one comes the direction of David. She's aiming right for the body.
1-6-1.
And I don't mean that as a bad thing. Sometimes that's one of the locations you got to just go body up because it's hard to protect in terms of your paddle position.
Yeah, all is fair game at this level. The body is a very calculated play, and the right shot a lot of times when being aggressive at certain opponents.
6-1-1.
Got to change up with Lacy on the left now. Looked like Jansen's confidence was just wavering a bit, and so this could just be a temporary change to see if they can switch things up and get a little momentum.
And a quick ball from Schneemann. Getting some extra love from her partner.
7-1-2.
Wind starting to increase as well as you
side out.
Watch the ponytail of Vivienne David.
Yeah, they're battling plenty of conditions now with the shadows, the altitude, and now the wind. Just throw another one in there.
Second serve. One, 7-2. Point.
There's a good ball from Lacy Kovalova, just dropping it low enough at the kitchen.
And they'd kind of gone away from that drive-drop combo that was working so well for them in game one. We'll see if they can get back into that rhythm.
Leah back on the left.
Point.
Great execution from Jansen.
Yeah, she waited and held that just a little bit longer to be able to slide it up the line to the dominant side of Vivienne David.
Great shot from Lacy Schneemann. She speeds up cross court and finishes down the line.
Yeah, did a great job of jamming Jansen, catching her right in that right hip location.
Net love for Schneemann. Both Schneemann and Jansen utilizing the Yola paddle.
serve.
David working with the carbon. Lucy Kovalova, Team Onyx. I believe the one in her hand is the Mayhem.
8-3-2. Side out.
So a side out for Jansen and Kovalova. Again, a spot into tomorrow's final on the line for these two teams.
Point.
There's the drive drop combo. This time she didn't even work into the net.
Yeah, I think they're doing best when they take their time, just get established at the kitchen line, but get up there more on their own terms, and that's often what the drive drop combo will allow them to do.
I'll recall. 4-8-1. Second serve.
The long arm of Lucy Kovalova.
Yeah, trying to use that forehand sweeping motion. Looked like the ball just dropped slightly below the height of the net before she hit it. Tough to use that motion unless it's above the net.
Side out.
Kovalova stands at 5'11", and Leah Jansen, she's pretty lengthy as well, standing at 5'10". It's a good amount of height disparity between these two teams. And the looper falls as well.
Yeah, we mentioned that the ball striking motion of Lacy Schneemann, she does just a little bit more wrist flip at the end of her swing, and it fooled Kovalova on that occasion.
Second serve.
Vivienne David finds one off the forehand.
9-4-2.
Ultimately, the one off the backhand creates some problems.
Point.
Yeah, looks like that ball skidded off the line right as it bounced, disrupted the timing of Jansen there.
10-4-2. Side out.
Out of bounds after a game point opportunity for Schneemann and David.
4-10-1. Second serve.
Again, trying to find that drop.
4-10-2. Side out.
Good news is for Jansen and Kovalova, they've got a bit of a pillow as they have game number 1.
10-4-1. Second serve.
Net pushes that one just a little bit wide. So Kovalova and Jansen are still alive here in game 2.
10-4-2. Side out.
There it is. You got to start building. That's a great shot from Leah Jansen, rolling that ball. Similar to the way we see other left-siders in the women's game. Think of Etta Wright with that great contact.
And a beautiful return there by Vivienne David, really pushing Jansen back on her third attempt.
Side out.
Another chance for Schneemann and David to close out this game number 2.
10-4-1.
Lacy Schneemann has 2 PPA medals.
Point.
And that's out of bounds. So we are going to 3, the head to a championship match on Sunday. On the opposing side, Vivienne David and Lacy Schneemann in semifinal action.
Side out.
Leah Jansen had a little bit of difficulty in game number 2, but she is very mentally tough. Let's see what she can find in this third. So if you're Vivienne David and Lacy Schneemann and you have a game plan coming in, next thing you know, maybe someone on the other side is starting to struggle a little bit. Do you drift from the game plan?
Yeah, I think you slightly deviate. When someone looks like they're losing their confidence, you give them a steady diet of balls until they found their rhythm, and then you kind of go back to what that original game plan is. At least that's what I would do if I was in their shoes.
Again,
point.
Very elastic is Lacy Schneemann.
And I mentioned at the beginning that one of the big indicators of who comes out on top was who wins that cross-court pattern. And even though Jansen has more of an attacking prowess and more reach, Schneemann gets a lot of stick on that backhand dink. It's very, very bitey.
Point.
Another point for Vivienne David and Lacy Schneemann. Vivienne David, 26 years old, also standing at 5'4".
3-0-2.
Originally out of Canada, then went on to live in Florida
Side out.
for the majority of her youth. Now resides in Dripping Springs, Texas. Started playing pickleball back in 2018, which was working for her dad. And her dad actually owned a tennis and pickleball retail store in Bonita Springs.
0-3-2.
Yeah, her father put on an invitational tournament. I believe it was called the World Pickleball Championships for a few years back before the Pro Tours were full up and running.
Second serve.
David even has 8 PPA medals so far in her career in gender doubles and mixed doubles.
Side out.
And maybe that will start to change the tide for Kovalova and Jansen.
Well, you could hear from Jansen's shout just how important it was for them to win that hands battle and get on the board here in game 3.
Second serve.
Lucy Kovalova and Leia staying connected, trying to show a little positivity, even in some frustrating moments.
And they're switching and putting Lucy over on the left now.
That's a great play from Lacy Schneemann, the two-hand backhand rolling through the middle.
And what great time for it, too. It's the first point that Kovalova's played on the left.
3-0-1.
If you forget to completely shuffle and cover that middle, Schneemann there to take advantage. I think the only thing that Schneemann's done poorly in this match is serve. I believe that's about 3 service errors or so.
Side out.
Uh-oh. 2 missed serves, so that's one way to get a hold.
Certainly one way to let your opponents back in the match. We'll see if they can take advantage.
Second serve.
Wondering who was going to take the first shot. Was it going to be another two-handed backhand from Schneemann? Instead, it's Jansen.
Side out.
Another quick side out. David and Schneemann.
So if Jansen's losing that pattern, I'd like to see her look for opportunities to use her feet, find more forehands, and just move the ball around and not necessarily stay in that pattern if it's not to your advantage.
Schneemann goes back to the two-hand backhand.
And Jansen did a better job of finding a few dinks, getting Vivienne David involved, moving the ball around rather than just staying in the same location the whole time.
Lucy Kovalova is going to start getting vocal here. I love the energy, the fire coming off her paddle.
0-3-1. Second serve.
Yeah, Jansen a little surprised by that pop-up, was still standing pretty upright when she hit that two-hander. Important to stay down on that drive to keep that nice and low to the net.
Lacy Schneemann continues to impress, sliding that ATP.
Yeah, she's been absolutely on fire in this match, really in a nice rhythm right now.
The ATP is such a fun dynamic in pickleball because at times it almost negates a great shot, right? So there's this balance of wanting to be aggressive, but you can't be too aggressive.
Exactly, exactly. It creates a lot more layers to this game.
Back-to-back shots from Leah Jansen.
And you can see how Kovalova is trying to pump her partner up. All Leah needs is a spark, and we know what she's capable of once she gets everything grooved.
Well, that could be it. Those are two balls from her paddle that have done damage.
Second serve.
An unfortunate off the net for Kovalova.
Yeah, I think she was trying to get that into the body of Schneemann and surprise her. But yeah, once that clips the tape, you've certainly lost the element of surprise.
Zero, 3-2. Side out.
Good volleying from Lacy Schneemann.
Yeah, and she doesn't have the most power of all the ladies on a lot of her shots, but again, she hits a very heavy ball, and that usage of spin has a way of still keeping her team in control and pushing her opponents back.
Chasing that all the way to the baseline, following it. Semi-final action here at the O-Snap Denver Open on the Carvana PPA Tour, the halfway point in 2023. It has been 3 full days of action here in Cherry Creek, Colorado, as we are nearing the conclusion of day number 3. Championship Sunday starts right here on Championship Court. One of these two teams will face off against Annalie Waters' side. We love to see that, as is Leah Jansen. A clean winner off the bounce for Vivienne David.
Yeah, I think Jansen thought that maybe she was going to do a little more with this by pushing David back, but she was able to see, set her feet and see the opening.
David with the poach.
Timeout, receivers, 8-0-1.
And again, even
8-0-1.
In November of last year.
Second serve.
You can even hear Matt Wright in the audio encouraging.
8-0-2. Point.
Yeah, and they just haven't had an answer for that backhand slice dink of Lacy Schneemann. They're wanting to get out of the pattern, but she's kind of daring them to pull the trigger at some low locations right now.
Point.
Another big shot from Vivienne David gets them to a match point. A chance to go on to championship Sunday.